brought to you by
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to News Tonight this Tuesday, the 29th of July 2025. My name is Micheal Lukomwa. Elizabeth Nakakuni has already joined in for sign language interpretation, and we'll go straight to what we have for you this evening. President Yoweri Museveni, in our first story, has bid farewell to Mukami Kariuki, the outgoing World Bank country manager for Uganda, at State House Entebbe. Kariuki, who assumed her role on the 1st of August 2021, has led the World Bank's engagement with the government of Uganda and overseeing the implementation of key development programs across the country. In a cordial exchange, President Museveni thanked Kariuki for her dedicated services and extended his best wishes as she concluded her assignment. On her part, Kariuki expressed her gratitude to President Museveni and the Ugandan government for the collaboration extended to her throughout her tenure. The meeting was also attended by Micheal, the World Bank country director for Kenya, Rwanda, Somalia, and Uganda, who is based in Nairobi. Fan noted that the bank's keen interest in supporting Uganda's agricultural transformation, job creation for the youth, and renewable energy development. He emphasized the need to increase agricultural productivity through strategic investments in irrigation, improved transport networks, and access to better seeds and fertilizers. President Museveni responded by highlighting Uganda's achievements in agricultural research, particularly in seed development and irrigation. Museveni further underscored the need to shift communities out of wetlands and into sustainable fish farming and periphery, which would allow the use of swamp water for irrigation while restoring the wetland ecosystem. With the High Commissioner of Kenya to Uganda, His Excellency Josh Mangi, at State House Entebbe. During the meeting, they both acknowledged the long-standing cordial ties between Uganda and Kenya, while also confronting recurring challenges related to the shared border. President Museveni welcomed the High Commissioner's update on the situation at Mijingo Island, noting that we are happy to preserve it for mutual benefit. He noted with appreciation the steps Kenya has taken to address past tensions around arrests and local enforcement in the area. Ambassador Mangi said he had visited the island with a Kenyan delegation and held discussions with local leaders, which helped to de-escalate tensions on the matter of cross-border insecurity and nomadic pastoralist conflicts in the Karamoja-Sebe-Turkana corridor. President Museveni emphasized the need for a long-term shift in mindset change and practice. Museveni proposed the traditional reconciliation approach to past killings involving security personnel during the conflict. And the Ambassador Mangi acknowledged the President's insights and added that sensitization efforts on the Kenyan side were ongoing. The Kenyan envoy also reported on his inspection of one-step border posts, including Busia and Swam, among other areas. In conclusion, Mangi conveyed warm greetings from President William Ruto and reiterated Kenya's appreciation for the strong bilateral ties with Uganda. President Yoweri Museveni has asked Catholic women across Africa to work towards the elimination of subsistence farming, saying it is a recipe for poverty and backwardness. The president said that the woman is part and parcel of the family and society, adding that wealthier families cannot fail to pay for the girl child to go to school. He made the remarks in a statement read for him by Vice President Major Retired Jessica Lupo during the Africa Region of World Union of Catholic Women's Organizations Conference at the Uganda Matters Shrine in Namugongo today the 29th of July 2025. He thanked the Ugandan women for embracing NRM's message on wealth creation at the household level.
I wish to thank the organizers for choosing Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, as the preferred host for this conference. I welcome our distinguished guests from outside the country and wish you a peaceful and memorable stay here in Uganda. I also wish to congratulate you upon reaching the jubilee year of your organization. And I hail all of you for the sacrifices and contributions towards its successes. Your Grace, in our country, Uganda, before 1986, the full potential of women had never been realized because they were denied access to opportunities in all spheres of life. The women were on the periphery of development in Uganda. The value of most of their labor was given no recognition in any gross national product statistics. They were denied independent access to property like land, livestock, etc. Property was almost exclusively allocated to men through inheritance. Women had no access to credit since credit programs were based on land as collateral. Women had no say in family decisions and in matters concerning their country. It was the men who assumed the right to speak for them. Your Grace, I would like to thank the women for embracing the NRM's message on wealth creation at the household level. Poverty in Uganda arises from the fact that 33% of the households are still engaged in subsistence farming. They are still working only for food. This is dangerous because in addition to food, there are other human needs, i.e., shelter, clothing, etc. These human needs have a monetary value, i.e., they can only be obtained through the medium of money. It is no longer sustainable for one to live outside the money economy and expect to attain a happy life. Finally,
with you, thank you for offering these gifts to the church. Thank you for nurturing and mentoring the world and society. I would like to thank the security. We are at peace. We have peace now and very calm and gentle. Thank you for your security. Thank you for the sacrifices that you have made for us to be peaceful.
You have a big network of more than 22 countries working together to eliminate violence and discrimination against women. We don't want one more woman suffering violence in the world or in this continent. It is not fair. Not women at all should suffer violence. No women should suffer discrimination. And we have to work for it, all of us, starting with ourselves, starting with our families, starting with our husbands, starting with all our communities, with all our big families. We have to work a lot.
Now, First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Yoweri Museveni, has welcomed efforts to deepen academic cooperation and promote knowledge exchange between Uganda and China, particularly in higher education and agricultural innovation. Mrs. Museveni met with a high-level Chinese delegation at State House, Entebbe.
The visiting team comprised senior academic experts from the prestigious Chinese institutions known globally for excellence in agriculture sciences, engineering, and innovation. They came to Uganda to explore partnerships with leading institutions like Micheal University. Mrs. Museveni warmly welcomed the delegation and pledged government support for the partnership. She reflected on Uganda's past struggles and political turbulence that delayed the country's transformation, noting ongoing efforts to rebuild infrastructure and the education sector since 1986.
When we get visitors who are friendly and are coming to hold hands with us to strengthen the development of our education sector and universities especially, we have no good enough words to say thank you. We thank you so much, and we want you to know that we take your coming seriously, and we want you to really make Uganda your second home from home, and work with our people, and let's build a home here which all of us can be proud of. We need to all know that we have a duty to build a human family wherever we're strategically put. We believe in God, and we think God strategically puts people in different places to do a job of serving humanity.
Honorable Vincent Sempija, a senior presidential advisor who led the Chinese delegation, described the visit as a deliberate and strategic move to deepen Uganda-China relations.
Your Excellency First Lady, their presence here today signals a very deliberate effort to deepen academic cooperation and promote knowledge exchange between Uganda and China.
Mama, as has been said, Nanjing University is one of the top agricultural universities in the world. And as we all know, China is very advanced in agriculture. And we have been discussing with them this morning the areas in which we can collaborate. And I pointed out particularly coffee, because coffee is our biggest cash crop, and we are exporting it raw, and our farmers are not getting the value they should really be getting. So we believe that we are going to collaborate with these people to develop our research even further to benefit our farmers more.
Professor Yan, Vice President of Nanjing Agriculture University, highlighted the university's 120-year history dating back to 1902. She emphasized their strength in agriculture and life sciences.
Yeah, we feel we love Uganda. We want to, yeah. So that's a place, the weather, and it's really good. Also, there's a lot of green materials here. We find the raw material in Uganda is excellent. We want to, you see, our the Green Water Group, we have sub-branch almost 70 countries. See, Africa is more than just 55 countries have our this branch, but really not for the Uganda. We choose here. We have 3 manufacturers in China, US have manufacture, Canada. We want to move one of them here. We don't move back forth. We want to settle down to do something we want.
The delegation also presented plans for a modern integrated industrial park in Lukaya Kalungu, led by Greenwald International. The industrial park will focus on agro-processing, organic fertilizer manufacturing, green technology, and logistics. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Uganda has started welcoming teams that will contest in the Championship of African Nations Group C, with Niger treated to a reception they have never seen anywhere. Our reporter John Barnes sent a Mwazi.
This August, East Africa becomes the center of African football. CHAN 2024 is here, and it's bigger than ever. 3 proud nations, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, united by football, passion, and power.
Clad in their famed green and orange tracksuits, the Niger national team, the Menace, touched down at Entebbe International Airport to become the first squad to arrive for the Championships of African Nations. The West Africans were treated to various traditional dances as they made their way out of the airport at the arrivals terminal. The delegation seemed visibly impressed with the giant silverback that is strategically placed for everyone heading out of the airport. From the airport, the team was driven to Protea Skies Hotel in Naguru, where the squad will be staying. Niger, that is in its 5th Championship of African Nations tournament, is in Group C with Uganda, South Africa, Algeria, and Guinea. Niger will look to go a step better than at the last edition, where it finished 4th after losing the bronze medal match to Madagascar. Niger, which is the lowest ranked in Group C, will open its tournament with a match against Guinea on Monday at 5 p.m. at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole. All Group C games in Uganda will be played at the Mandela National Stadium in Nambole.
From the first whistle to the final roar, 35 thrilling matches, live only on UBC TV and radio stations. Wherever you are in Uganda, from the city to the village, UBC brings CHAN 2024 to your screen.
A high-level Confederation African Football, that is CAF technical team, has arrived in Uganda and visited the Uganda Cranes camp at the Paradise Hotel in Chisasi. Our reporter was with the team, and here are the details.
August 2nd to August 30th, it's football like never before. One tournament, one region, one heartbeat.
Before tournaments at the magnitude of the Championship of African Nations that Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda co-host, organizers leave nothing to chance. It's the reason a high-level Confederation of African Football team is in Uganda to finalize technicalities like verification of jersey number and proper identity of players. The team that is led by Confederation of African Football General Coordinator Jibri Nazir has visited the Uganda Crane camp in Kisasi, and good news is all players have been passed fit to represent Uganda. The Championship of African Nations is a tournament that started in 2009 for African players that play their trade in their nationals local league. Its 2024 edition starts on August 2nd, 2025 in the 3 East African nations of Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. Tanzania will host the opener against Burkina Faso, with Kenya joining the fray the next day, while Uganda tests its first action versus Algeria on Monday, 4th August 2025.
August 2nd to August 30th, it's football like never before. One tournament, one region,
Abeka bana tuzi. Awarunji. Nafe tujja.
Oh. Bami kwangu. Anya inakuchange ono.
Uncle, you can just use your phone.
Hey, tuina mombo.
Ngako mwana kudunya change.
Neanza nyo.
Nange kwetwe.
Yes sir.
Zo ziri mmeka?
Ziri 3 kitundu.
3 kitundu.
Yes sir.
Ngiro. Sente ngazinzi gweddeko.
But uncle, you can't get from your phone.
Just keep on playing your bodies. What did you mean? Mweba rutegeka nze no bola bankoye kuva ku macha ndi mu shopping. Juma jangu ambe ku munno muti kule ebintu. Muri mutya?
Uncle, you're suffering again. Can you can put it on your phone and make money?
Bye-bye. No sorry, don't do it. That's all Quagara. Thanks for Barab. This, and Papa was Charuao, but get them on the home. We're going to know situation here.
Can they take candle?
Hey, wait, I go to Tambra. With the water. Saying, I don't know, no community.
You thought that on your wallet. Bobby, again, what's the drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SIGs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders, June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders. No! Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
UBC News Tonight. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. President Yoweri Museveni has bid farewell to the outgoing Irish ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Kevin Colgan, at State House in Ntewe. Ambassador Colgan, who first served in Uganda in the 1990s and returned in 2020 for a second term, concluded his diplomatic mission this week. President Museveni commended him for his service and acknowledged Ireland's long-standing partnership with Uganda. The president reflected on global and regional issues, emphasizing the importance of fair trade and economic transformation. He reiterated the need for Africa to industrialize and tap into global trade, highlighting the connection between prosperity, production, and purchasing power. He also noted that Africa's growth is beneficial for all, stressing that global prosperity should be inclusive. President Museveni praised Ireland's constructive role in international affairs and called for deeper dialogue between Africa and the West. He said that many current global challenges could be addressed through open engagement and mutual understanding. He also shared insights on Africa's historical journey towards liberation, describing himself as part of the third generation of African freedom fighters. In his farewell remarks, Ambassador Colgan expressed appreciation for Uganda's progress since his first visit in the 1990s. He noted major improvements in infrastructure, education, and healthcare. He commended President Museveni's leadership and support for regional integration and Pan-Africanism, aligning it with Ireland's support for unity through economic cooperation. The ambassador affirmed Ireland's continued commitment to development efforts in Uganda, particularly in education and support to the Karamoja region. He also highlighted the positive impact of Uganda's education reforms and shared a memorable moment from his time in the country. Colgan will take up his next diplomatic assignment in Serbia. President Yoweri Museveni has extended financial support to more than 2,000 women operating as informal street vendors in Kampala. The intervention aims to strengthen their small businesses and uplift livelihoods in the city's informal sector.
The beneficiaries, mainly women selling food, hair products and other goods in baskets, received the support during the event at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds. The initiative was coordinated by the Office of the President through the Political Affairs Unit, underlining State House's direct involvement in addressing urban poverty and informal employment.
The message to them from the President was, first of all, to thank them for fighting poverty into their families using small incomes that they have. And another message was to deliver the President's pledge that he had made to them earlier of 100,000 per vendor, per banana vendor or per fruit vendor, so that they can increase into their capital of fighting poverty into their families. So today we encouraged them to really make sure that they continue fighting poverty into their homes, and they support the President into his way of fighting for the country to stay under peace under his leadership.
Funds were formally delivered by State House Financial Controller Jane Bareche. Each vendor received 100,000 shillings to boost their working capital. Prior to the disbursement, the women underwent financial literacy training focusing on basic principles of money management and saving. The financial assistance follows President Museveni's sustained attention to the hardships faced by informal traders, especially women operating under constrained conditions in Kampala.
Do something which is profitable. So he sent us, said find out from those people. So we sent our teams. We found out, this was very well organized, because when one of our staff, Namaya and Mariam, stopped at Kitukum House, those people who said from there, she asked two of them separately, do you have a chairperson? They said, yes, we have a chairperson. And they said, what is the number? They gave her the number separately. She called that person and said, introduced herself. And he said, I would like to meet you and the group. They told her that they meet every Sunday at Kibuli. So that week she went and met them at Kibuli. And at that time for them in Kampala Center, they were about 380. But they also told her there's another group which is in Nakawa. Those ones in Nakawa about 600. But when we went out to register others who are not affiliated to this group. In total, we came out with about 2,000 people within Kampala. And these are the people the president has given 100,000 shillings each. So for total, it's going to be 200 million for all of them.
Minister for Kampala Affairs Sajat Minsa Kabanda called for an immediate end to the arrest and harassment of bucket vendors by city authorities. She noted that the government is working on long-term plans to relocate vendors to permanent organized marketplaces, including the development of facilities at Usafi Market.
No one should touch them, but we have encouraged them to continue with cleanliness. First of all, they should also be clean. They should not bypass our grass. Second, they should buy polythene bags and put there to keep the garbage. Then they throw it where it's supposed to go.
The women expressed appreciation for the support, describing it as timely and transformative.
Tukweyanza era Museveni oye NRM oye tukwagala nnyo okutulowoozaako
tukiriza nti bulijjo Museveni abadde atumanyi naye oluusi abantu babadde atuma be babadde tebatulaba naye leero ssanyu lya maanyi okufuna zino capital munaku lumu si kyangu. President abeewo ddala.
This intervention forms part of the government strategy to support the informal economy and incorporate it into Uganda's national development agenda. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Justice Dr. Professor George Wilson Kanyehamba has been laid to rest at his home in Buziga, Machindia Division, Kampala. The deceased was honored with a 7-gun salute appreciating his contribution towards Uganda's prosperity.
Mourners from the church, justice, law and order sector, politicians, friends, relatives and residents gathered at Buziga Machindia Division in Kampala district to attend the burial service of the late Justice Professor George Wilson Kany Ha. Professor Kany Ha died on 14th July 2025 at Nakasero Hospital, buried at his permanent home at his residence in Buziga. The Assistant Bishop of Kampala Diocese, Right Reverend Alfred Barra, in his sermon, said the late was a person who lived a just life, and this was seen in his decisions and in the way he served the country and the world at large.
Christians need to be agents of justice in the world, standing against injustice, caring for those who are not cared for, treating people the way they should be treated.
Dr. Chris Baliomonsi represented government, and President Museveni hailed the late as a person who played a pivotal role in the liberation of the country during the NRA Bush War.
His writings and landmark rulings over the years are a great treasure to the present and future generations. I salute Professor Wilson Kany Ha's contribution during the 1981-86 Bush War, which salvaged Uganda from state collapse. He was part of our external committee that was mobilizing support to the diaspora. Eventually, when the NRA captured power, he served the government as a minister, and at one time he represented Rwanda in the Parliament of Uganda.
The Chief Justice Alphonse Chigamoyo Winyidolo said the latest legacy will forever uphold the image of the judiciary.
He is well known for his unwavering dedication to enforcing the law, his deep intelligence, and his fearless independence. In addition to serving on the bench, Justice Kany Ha was a distinguished scholar and prolific writer whose writings, and I have no doubt that his legacy will survive for generations.
The former Premier Zamama Mbabas and Dr. Rakana Rugunda talked about the roles the late played in advising the government and the opposition in all spheres of leadership.
Kany Ha was a close friend of Yoweri Museveni, the president of Uganda. But Kany Ha was also a close friend of the opposition leaders in this country. Kany Ha used this relationship of intimacy with the government and intimacy with the opposition.
A brilliant academic, a passionate advocate for justice, and uncompromising defender of human rights. George also had a rich personal side. He was frank, witty, and intellectually fearless.
Masco Kany Ha's son, Sarah Kany Ha's daughter, and relatives applauded the condolences and support from everyone.
So he was always looking to teach us either what was right from wrong or how to make sure that we kept on that right side of what was right and wrong. And we are immensely proud and privileged for the enormous honor that this nation has granted him.
Others spoke highly about Professor Joel Kany Ha.
To have the chance to be what he is, indeed was a great gift from nobody but the Almighty.
I think that in his last days was happy that he had been able to achieve so much for himself, for his family, and for the country.
So he was a great man that spoke what he thought on politics, on other issues.
May you therefore do something in the ministry of the Lord so that those who will be there when we shall be no more will have to say about us.
The government honored the deceased with 7 gun salutes as a sign of appreciating his contribution to the country. Dr. Professor Justice Yoweri Kany Ha will be remembered for his legacy, especially in the landmark decisions he made and in his writings of acknowledgeable books. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Subuga, UBC News.
May his soul rest in eternal peace. Prime Minister Robin Nabanja has called for senior police officers to be patriotic for their motherland, Uganda. The Prime Minister was addressing senior police commanders who have been undertaking a master course at the Senior Police Commanders College in Bwebaja along Entebbe Road.
A total of 41 senior police officers and senior prison officers have been undertaking a 1-year master's program at the Senior Police Commanders College, Bwebaja, along Entebbe Road in Wakiso District. This evening, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabanja, was invited by the Inspector General of Police to give a lecture of opportunity to the senior police officers as they prepare to be passed out. Nabanja, who is also the Kakumiro Woman Member of Parliament, was welcomed by the Commandant Assistant Commissioner of Police, Babula Arungat. Nabanja took to the podium to give a lecture of opportunity and encourage them to be patriotic for their motherland, Uganda.
Patriotism is a constitutional obligation as per section 29 of our constitution. It means the love for the country. Okwagala eggwanga yo is not optional. You must love your country. Once you are patriotic, you will love your job. You will feel proud, feeling proud to serve your people and serve your country.
The Prime Minister also urged them to mobilize the community for production, to grow high-value crops as a means of fighting poverty, and also act as agents of change in the community.
As a Twitter people or leaders, I implore you to mobilize our people to be productive and take advantage of these markets we have expanded. As security officers, we need to take an interest in the things that happen around us. You do not need to be a scientist or an agriculture officer to start mobilizing your people in your respective areas, your relatives, your wives, your neighbors, especially those with small plots of land.
Speaking for the first time following the chaotic scenes in Kakumiro during the NRM primaries, the Prime Minister explained what exactly happened during the fracas and the circumstances that caused it.
My other opponents had scored 2 scored 0-0, another had got 4 votes. So they wanted to add votes on me. But fortunately, some of us are very smart. I had already collected my DRA forms. By the time we saw, I usually see ahead of others. So I already, for me, I invest in vote protection. Now, because the MP was failing, he saw that he was. So they said, how do we do it? We have to add some votes to the Prime Minister, or she will shout. So they gave me 905 votes instead of 211. 905. Little did they know that I had already got my education from. So, and they were reading at the Tare Center. Nabanya Robina, 905. Hey! I said, no. No. I got 211. Oblala Mubujewa, tell you. Mubujewa. One, it might have been a trick. This is why I want you to open your eyes. To tarnish my name in front of my principal. 2, it could have been a trick to steal for another member of parliament. But at the expense of my name. So I stood up and said, no, I have my education from. So once you are immunized of all these social evils, because like any other person, I would just get excited. But I didn't know the intention of the person who was adding votes on me. So Nembagamba, the 11 polling stations, don't add your Garcia. So that's how a member of parliament jumped on me.
She appealed to the officers to guard against alcoholism and asked them to prepare their exit once they retire from the force.
We expect you to be agents of change, to transform the lives and livelihoods of the 33% of our Ugandans who are still trapped in poverty. You cannot expect any development when our people are being evicted from their ancestral land.
Among the very few Ugandans who are direct in this country, and above all, adding value, and we are better informed that as we get out as senior officers of Uganda police and Uganda prisons, we must be in position to add value to this country.
She further called upon the police officers to guard against moneylenders who are fleecing Ugandans. The team of trainees is comprised of 36 senior police officers and 5 prison officers, 32 male and 9 female.
Tensions are high in the National Resistance Movement Central Executive Committee as incumbents face pressure now from new entrants. A Minister for ICT, also a SEC member, the National Vice Chairman for Western Uganda, Dr. Chris Bariomosi, says that the SEC position has attracted over 250 contestants.
After NRM chairman declared 27th and 28th of August as the days for delegates conference, pressure has mounted on the contestants, especially the incumbents who want to retain their positions. Some incumbent SEC members led by the vice chairman for Western Region, Chris Baryomunsi, rushed to the NRM secretariat to launch their campaigns ahead of the August delegates conference.
SEC are the ones who vet the aspirants or the candidates for SEC position. That's how the constitution is, and we ensure that there is fairness still. Because when it comes, say, for the position of vice chairperson, Western Uganda, then I will step out of the SEC meeting for the other members to vet those who are vying. It's not that I sit and make a decision on my colleagues who are vying against me, to remove this one, remove this one. So you declare your interest because you are a candidate on that position, then you don't participate in vetting the candidates for that. But it is done fairly. Nobody is vetted out unfairly. There is fairness, and the work is done honestly. So nobody should fear, nobody should be.
Others were National Vice Chairperson for Uganda, Godfrey Chiwanda Subi, and the Chairperson Women's League, Lydia Wanyuto. Central Executive Committee of the NRM is the highest organ of the party that has this time attracted over 290 contestants. Baryomunsi has other 10 competitors. Chiwanda has 6 others for Uganda, while Lydia Wanyuto is also facing tight competition.
I'm seeking for reaction of the National Chairperson NRM Women's League. This is the catchword. I never grow old. I'm always big sister, as you can see, because that's what the image of woman is supposed to be. But the message for the women is that women must shine. And that is the summary of what we want to be. A shining person is an empowered woman, is an able woman, bigger development for the family and for the... So women must shine is our slogan. And for women to shine, Museveni must win.
So I appeal to you delegates to allow me, maintain me as your vice chairman of the National Resistance Movement in charge, Uganda, so that I also continue chairing the National Consultative Forum. I've made some briefs into this brochure, which I'm going to share with you, all of you, the delegates. In this brochure, I've come up with some few things about myself, about Chiwanda. Some of you who may not have interacted with me before, about my current position, the key milestone that some of you know about me, where I performed.
While responding to media queries on why NRM politics has become a do-or-die affair, the SEC members boasted of the party being popular and a sign of embracing democracy.
It accommodates many people. True, there are these challenges, but also you must appreciate that there is a demographic transition going on within the country, where we have a huge segment of the population being young people who have been born under the NRM regime, who do not probably sufficiently appreciate the historical facts of this country. And the point you have made, that is a challenge to us as current leaders of NRM to ensure that we inculcate knowledge, but also we explain where NRM came from, what it stands for, and assure Ugandans, especially the young people, that this is the party for the future.
Adia Nakuti, UBC.
The National Unity Platform is concerned over the pace of its ongoing verification exercise, citing the overwhelming number of aspirants and limited personnel to handle the process. The NUP Electoral Management Committee entered the second day of the candidate verification exercise for Rubaga South, Kawempe North and Nakawa East constituencies.
On the second day of the exercise, the NUP Election Management Committee vetted candidates at the party's headquarters in Makere Kavli, aspirants from Lubaga South, Kawempe North and Nakawa East constituencies.
Several hopefuls queued up to secure the party card ahead of the 2026 general elections.
How I see things are going on well. But there are those who are already afraid because they know that their fellow candidates are a little much stronger. So they predict that their colleagues may take the day. No results have come out yet. Not even us, not even the Lord Mayors.
Candidates for councillor positions under the Kampala Capital City Authority were the focus of today's session. Umar Magala vying for the Lord Councillor seat in Kawempe North 2, and Senono Dennis, Mariam Balunga and Luyombia Godfrey from Nakawa East were vetted.
You know, being in political office really encompasses a lot of pressure, very well, no?
And you know that the party had two categories of harmonization. This is one of the channels through which we should harmonize as party leaders. The first one was a candidate harmonization, where candidates sit, reconcile against themselves and harmonize. But in the event that they fail to harmonize, the party goes ahead to take us through the vetting. But look, here is Luyombia, who has been a speaker of a division. A speaker of division has been covering over like around 23 parishes that make Nakawa division. You cannot tell me that if I've been visible in the 23 parishes, Godfrey can fail to be visible in the 8 parishes.
Other parties, it went on smoothly. There was no chaos, like I said before.
Many aspirants scheduled for verification on the first day were not vetted due to time constraints, raising fears of possible delays.
First and foremost, it is very important for us to acknowledge who has the mandate to vet candidates according to our constitution. It is the Election Management Committee with the help of registrars, a few selected registrars who could have been trained in as far as conducting this process is concerned. So as we talk right now, we are very sure, even while we are developing this particular roadmap, we are cognizant of all those numbers, we are cognizant of all the factors that could probably have influenced this particular process.
Some individuals who submitted nomination papers but failed to appear for the verification exercise were also attended to.
So much hope that by the end of today, we shall have concluded that exercise as well, so that what happened yesterday does not have to happen today. The commissioners do not have to leave this place very late in the night.
Meanwhile, the party is in a fundraising campaign to support its operations and preparation for the 2026 elections.
Traversed from Umbale, from Gulu to come here and put in that they have to facilitate the struggle. And I want to take the opportunity to appreciate all the Ugandans.
Cayenne, Faith, Jamil, Sekaja for EBC.
Back to the NRM camp, the newly instituted Elections Petition Tribunal has kicked off with the hearing of petitions. The petitioners are required to present evidence to prove that they were really defeated unfairly, while the respondents are expected to defend their wins. According to the chairperson, NRM Elections Tribunal, John Mosime, there were about 381 petitions and about 56 will be disposed in a single day. Meanwhile, the results of the petitions will be available after 7 days.
You say this is their car.
Plot 30 on Chiadondo Road, where NRM has set a tribunal, was a busy day for the lawyers as they kicked off hearing in 381 petitions that arose from the July 17th party primaries. 8 panels were set, with each panel comprising of 3 lawyers ready to listen to the petitioners and the defendants before a judgment will be made after 7 days. The petitioners and the defendants are allowed to come with a lawyer or witnesses, but not exceeding 5 people.
So we are here precisely because the power that belonged to the people that were voters was hijacked.
The East African Community Legislator and the Vice President, Democratic Party Mukasambide, is one of the lawyers who faced the tribunal on Tuesday to defend his clients from Leatonte woman MP race, who petitioned the winner over irregularities and wants the results nullified.
And what was actually disseminated as a final result was out of a convoluted process, a process that was out of mime, beating, contradictory tally sheets, and of course the centers were equally besieged.
NRM primary results from Chiruhura women representation was also petitioned and interfaced with the tribunal after the incumbent Twin Obusinje Jovans lost to a new entrant, Ruth Mushabe.
For me, who was in there when things were happening, even up to the time of declaration in the tally center, everything was clear. Actually, Chiruhura had the cleanest declaration process. We had a big screen. Everything that was happening would be projected for people inside and outside. However, you cannot tell people how to behave. After deciding that I had won, they chose to take the tribunal route. But NRM, the party that it is, that is always accommodative.
As Mushabe is now jubilating, the incumbent is accusing her for tampering with declaration forms and altering results.
I expect a lot from the tribunal. Actually, if they follow the truth, they will announce me as a winner because they have the right to announce or to declare. First of all, results were altered in 8 polling stations. I will give you an example of Biembogo, where she got 255, then I got 63. Then they added her 500 votes.
Petitioner from Lower Madi constituency and incumbent MP Afidra Olema Ronald faced the tribunal accusing the winner for irregularities of voter bribery, intimidation, violence, and mismatch in registrar. An allegation the winner, Ali Ismail, dismissed.
The fourth issue was a bribery. I talked about bribery. I have never seen people being purchased to vote. No, this is terribly bad. We cannot continue with the bribery at this scale as a party, in my view, and this needs to be stopped.
On so many grounds, and the purpose of my coming here today at the Secretariat was basically to respond to some of the allegations. And I believe I've done my part. I'm convinced what I've done is enough.
Haj Abdu Bisaso, who was declared the winner for Kasanda South, also interfaced with the tribunal to defend his win against the petitioner.
I know our victory was secured genuinely. That's why you see they are changing day by day. They are reporting this and this. I only wonder someone with armed men reporting violence on someone who didn't have even a stick. I'm just wondering. But God is there, and I know He will help us.
Safari Christopher from Kinkizi West constituency alleged that Ruth Kaberuka rigged the election, and he's seeking the tribunal to nullify.
They decide according to our prayers, then our Kinkizi West will shine. Then maybe they will declare me as a winner, or we shall go for fresh elections.
The Director, Legal Affairs, Enoch Barata, says that the first day went on smoothly, and the results of the petitions will be available after 7 days.
So on the whole, the first day I think has gone very well.
The hearing of the petition continues. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Abeka bana tuzi. Awarunji. Nafe tujja.
Bami kwangu. Anya inakuchange ono.
Uncle, you can just use your phone.
Tuina momo.
Va kumwana kubunya change.
Nayanziza nyo.
Nange kwendele.
Yes.
Zoziri mmeka?
Jire satu chitundu.
Satu chitundu.
Yes.
Ayo. Sente ngazinzu gweddeko.
But uncle, you can't get from your phone.
Let's keep on playing your bodies. What do you mean?
tegeka nze no bora bankoye kuva ku macha ndi mu shopping Juma jangu yambe ku munno muti kule ebintu muri mutya
Uncle, you're suffering again. Can you put it on your phone and make money?
Bye-bye. No sorry, don't do it. What does all work? Thanks for Barab. Bit, and Pomba was Charwao, but get them on Gilco. We are going to know situation here.
Can they take candle?
Hey, wait a Kutambra. When the water told her. I sang another tomorrow, no coming to the.
Ours. Explore you.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
UBC News Tonight. Uganda's hospitality sector is set for Chan 2024, hosting Group C teams in top Kampala hotels. All the teams have exclusive hotel accommodation meeting CAF standards. Arnold Wadulo had a chat with local organizing committee.
Uganda is hosting 5 teams in Group C: Niger, Guinea, Algeria, South Africa and Uganda itself between August 4th and 29th of 2025. Each team stays at its own hotel, avoiding sharing to ensure comfort and security.
The standard of which hotel meets the quality set by CAF is not determined by Uganda but by CAF.
Key venues include Kampala Serena, 4 Points by Sheraton, Golden Tulip and Skies Hotel, selected on a CAF criteria emphasizing space, cleanliness, security and 24/7 internet connectivity.
When CAF began interfacing with these hotels, telling them about their potential of being used for accommodation of officials and guests, interactions and trainings began taking place. Now, of course, when you know you are going to have a visitor, even in your home, there are certain things you do. So these hotels that have been identified had to do some things, make up, and especially ensuring that they have high-speed, reliable internet.
Coordination efforts also focus on smooth transport logistics between hotels and event venues, aiming to deliver a seamless experience for players, officials and journalists during this tournament.
Journalists will be housed separately in hotels within Kira municipality, close to training and match venues at Mandela National Stadium in Bweyogerere ensuring seamless media coverage.
We are going to receive over 1,000 journalists into Uganda to cover us during CHAN 2024. These journalists, we were also requested to identify hotels for them that we may recommend for their accommodation. Now, most of these hotels, in addition to the brands that you know, are located around Chira municipality because of proximity to the stadium. So we have also identified that, and those are communicated to CAF. There is Abba Hotel, I think it's within Chaliwajara. There's a Esela Hotel in Chira. There is Unique Hotel, there is Excelsis, there is Ashley's, about 7 of them.
The local organizing committee urges all Ugandan hospitality providers to deliver outstanding service, capitalized on this global stage to promote the country's tourism and hospitality sectors. This event builds on Uganda's ongoing push to upgrade facilities despite room shortages and heavy taxation. Wadulo Arnold Mark, UBC News in Kampala.
We thank you so much for watching. That is all I had for you at this point. Let's get back to you at 10 p.m. with another arrangement, News Tonight. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakuna and the whole team. Let's catch you then.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
This August, East Africa becomes the center of African football. CHAN 2024 is here, and it's bigger than ever. 3 foundations, Kenya, Tanzania, and
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Engineer Moses Kazibwe, with deep sorrow, announces the death of his beloved mother, Miss Rhoda Nalongo Kayaga, who died on Saturday, the 26th of July, 2025. She was a beloved mother, grandmother, and friend. The burial will take place at her home in Senene, Butambala, tomorrow, Wednesday, the 30th of July, 2025. Engineer Moses Kazibwe, with deep sorrow, announces the death of his beloved mother, Miss Rhoda Nalongo Kayaga, who died on Saturday, the 26th of July, 2025. She was a beloved mother, grandmother, and friend. The burial will take place at her home in Senene, Butambala, tomorrow, Wednesday, the 30th of July, 2025, starting at 2 p.m. Mama Rhoda Nalongo will remain in his heart forever. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
My name is Flight Captain George Michael Mkula, aspiring for the National Vice Chairman in charge of Eastern Uganda. The National Resistance Movement is a revolutionary party. It's founded on 4 ideals: patriotism, Pan-Africanism, social-economic transformation, and democracy. General Yoweri Museveni, our historical revolutionary leader, has kept this country peaceful for the last few years. Uganda now is peaceful from the north to the south, east to the west. In this new term, our focus will be to address the issues of youth unemployment and to ensure that the youth are part of the vision of the transformation of this country. 2, poverty. we must ensure that we continue to reduce poverty in our population. Number 3 is to ensure that we deal with service delivery to improve on our services in hospitals, schools, and ensure that there is water for everyone for production and to drink. We must also ensure